Right, we're going to have a go at trying to make a little video of my potager, we call it here in France, and my little vegetable plot. These were the first to go in. These are broad beans, butter beans, broad beans, anyway, they're big green beans. You can serve raw with an aperitif, or you can cook them up, or you can make a puree out of them. They're very hardy. I put these in March. They can stay in the whole winter. They're fertilized, pollinated by bourdon bees, which are the carpenter bees. And the flowers on these beans seem to mimic the actual bourdon bee. Next to that, I have the first row of peas that I put in about 6 weeks ago. These are Oregon sugar pod peas. They're a heritage variety. Next to that, the more recent sowing, so I have a succession. And the final row is just prepared because in another week I'll be planting the last row of peas. This is our 3-year composting system. So we used to have only compost toilets. We do have a septic tank now, but we still maintain this as a 3-year composting system because we use composting dry toilets in the summer when we have lots of people camping here. We make up a toilet for them, and it's always a compost toilet, and we recycle everything here. This is the latest pile here, and the 3-year-old pile is at the end, and it's been making some beautiful compost for us. I'll just stop this and show you. This is the compost. This is the compost it's been making. Absolutely beautiful stuff. No smell ever from the first minute you put everything in. The secret is to separate the pee. It's the urine that makes everything smell. So I plant with this every year, and it's really good stuff. It's a comfrey plant. Just seemed to appear here one year and comes back every year now. Consoude, it's called in French. Soude is to solder and also means to heal. So its name is actually a healing plant. Next to that I have some bunches of lemon balm, but this grows like a weed here, comes up everywhere. We make tisane, teas, out of that with honey. This is Greek oregano. Again, it comes up every year. I have to keep a marker so that we don't mow it off, and so we protect it if the animals get in here. My little llamas. The babies are big now. They're over a year old. Normally, Caraba, the big brown one, isn't here watching me in the garden, but she's too busy eating. Final area I've got prepared for beans. Growing some more unusual beans this year. We've got a Chinese red bean to go in here that a friend is bringing up this afternoon. That is blet. It's a form of chard here. Very hardy, just comes up every year. We must have dug up the rest, but that's one that we've got that's still coming up. This is one of the tomato beds. Variety of organic tomatoes here, all different colours, all different sizes, shapes, flavours, just so I can have a sort of really colourful tomato salad with feta cheese. Really lovely. Artichokes, magnificent plants. I can't stand artichokes, but I love the plants. They have a beautiful thistle type flower on the top, and basically I grow them just for that. Next to that is a raised bed of garlic. Now, maybe a bit of a disaster this year, not sure. Sorry, that's my dog. He's our new acquisition. Cross between a Bernese mountain dog and a border collie. Anyway, sorry, I was saying garlic hasn't been really cold enough to split up the cloves this year. I had a little dig about in there yesterday and it looked like they haven't made really big sectioned garlic cloves. So we'll see. They'll still be usable, but they won't be very big. We've been eating lettuces for some time. I cover them with a little bit of fleece in the start when they're growing. These have been in since April, I think, just eating our way along the row. The fleece now, of course, serves a different purpose because the new ones at the end, only put in last week, it stops them from burning in the sun, which is now getting a little bit stronger. Next to that I have aubergines, eggplant. Now they're grafted, but I get them, they're organic grafted. I don't know, I seem to have difficulty here with aubergines and they get very seedy, but we'll see what these do. These are grafted. Next to those I have some tiny pepper plants which were actually started in a grow tent early this year, but they don't look very good. I've got some more to go in. Another raised bed of lettuce. These are sucrines, very popular, have a nice tight little centre and they don't go to seed very quickly at all. I planted those in yesterday. We have a system for collecting water and water up from our pump, and this fills up various barrels around the garden. We can also pump directly from the well, which is from a source of water, a wild source of water. A few chickens in there, but I've got lots of chickens over the other side. This is just a little trio in here. Oh, hey Coco. Where's your girlies? Side of the lettuces, I've got beans. These are a black bean, a Borlotti. No, not a Borlotti bean, a Cosa Violetta, which means purple pod. They're very, very dark, but strangely, when you cook them, they go green. I just like them because the flowers are beautiful. You can see they're just starting to come up there. Got a bit mad on beans. This is another bean frame. They've not surfaced yet. These are the Borlotti beans. They're really lovely colours and I'm going to be putting them in jars for eating as dried beans. Next to me here is another raised bed made out of an old broken animal drinker which flew over our fence from our neighbours and cracked. So he left it there, so we've sunk it into the ground and used it for a raised bed. In there, just with the leaves going brown, which indicates they're ready for picking. Thank you, Coco. Is some more garlic. Just the same though, it hasn't really swollen up. Here are red salad tomatoes, salad onions. They're very, very sweet. And they're looking good actually. Further on down, I've got my next group of 6 tomato plants. We've got green zebra, the first 2, and then orange pear-shaped tomatoes, and finally little tiny red tomatoes. I like to grow them in several places because once in a while